China didn't release an update. They released a verdict. There was no press conference, no dramatic announcement, no public warning. Just a quiet upload, raw FITS files, photometric readings, astrometric solutions, time-stamped data streams deposited into national archives like routine paperwork. But the scientists who opened those files didn't see routine. They saw confirmation. Confirmation of the one scenario astronomers across the West hoped they would never have to face. Because China's observations of 3I, Atlas, recorded during the most suspicious 36-hour blackout in modern Western astronomy, don't merely fill a gap in the record. They rewrite the entire timeline. They show an interstellar object brightening when it shouldn't, expanding its coma in ways that violate existing models, developing tail structures that contradict every earlier observation, behaving with a level of precision no natural comet should display. And the strangest part? Nothing about the object changed. And yet, everything did. As if 3I, ATLAS wasn't waiting for solar heat. It was waiting for us. Waiting for that gap. Waiting for the moment only one nation would be watching. China's data doesn't introduce a new mystery. It confirms the one we've been denying from the beginning. The blackout. Because in astronomy, the timeline is everything. And the timeline is wrong. On July 1, 2025, Chile's Atlas survey detected the object that would later be named 3I, Atlas, only the third confirmed interstellar visitor in human history. From the moment its orbit was calculated, something felt off. It wasn't just fast. It was too fast. Heliocentric velocities exceeding 209,000 km per hour. A trajectory that never belonged to our sun. Western observatories mobilized immediately. Hubble, JWST, VLT, Gemini. Every major instrument aligned to build a continuous observational arc. And then, at the most critical phase of the object's evolution, everything went dark. For exactly 36 hours. 5 major Western observatories went offline at the same time. Official reasons varied: gyroscope recalibration, mirror maintenance, instrument swaps, mission reprioritization, but the timing aligned with an accuracy that bordered on absurd. This was the precise window when an interstellar comet reveals its true nature: peak outgassing, jet activation, coma expansion, dust-to-gas ratios, nucleus stress responses. Everything we rely on to determine what an object really is. A natural comet would have nothing to hide. An unnatural one would have everything to reveal. The West closed its eyes. China didn't. High-altitude observatories in Tibet, Qinghai, and Yunnan remained fully operational. No maintenance cycles. No scheduling conflicts. Clear skies. Stable atmospheric conditions. Perfect geometry. While the most powerful telescopes on Earth were blind, China recorded uninterrupted astrometric positions, coma expansion rates, tail morphology, multi-filter photometry, dust grain distributions, and brightness evolution curves. Every exposure time stamped to the millisecond. Every frame calibrated through nitrogen-cooled CCD systems. Every FITS file transmitted through redundant fiber links to Beijing and Nanjing servers. And what they recorded was not what Western scientists expected to see when the blackout ended. The coma didn't just grow. It expanded sunward. The tail didn't simply form. It elongated at a rate inconsistent with passive sublimation. The brightness didn't fluctuate. It surged, by nearly 0.3 magnitudes in hours. The dust profile didn't drift. It shifted decisively toward large carbon-rich grains, something never observed in an object with this chemical history. China didn't fill the gap. China exposed it. To understand why this matters, you have to understand what a coma is supposed to be. A diffuse cloud formed when solar heat sublimates surface ice. But 3I, ATLAS didn't behave like it was waking up. It behaved like it was responding. Weeks earlier, JWST and SphereX had already detected something anomalous. A coma dominated by carbon dioxide rather than water. That alone implied a thermal history unlike any solar system comet. But during the blackout, when solar radiation peaked, China observed something else entirely. A structured brightening wave. A directional expansion. A coherent dust reconfiguration. This wasn't random outgassing. It was patterned. And to see that pattern, you needed continuous coverage. China had it. The West didn't. When JWST and VLT came back online, the comet had already traveled more than 1.2 million kilometers. Enough to destroy any high-resolution reconstruction of what happened during those missing hours. Except China's data stitched the sequence together seamlessly. When scientists aligned the datasets, the conclusion became unavoidable. 3I, ATLAS was not behaving like a comet struggling to survive the sun. It was behaving like an object reacting to it. This part doesn't sound dramatic, but it is. Every photon China recorded passed through atmospheric correction pipelines, redundancy checks, Gaia DR3 cross-calibration, and checksum verification. All while Western telescopes with mirrors 4 times larger captured nothing. The result was the first uninterrupted photometric sequence of an interstellar object during peak solar activation. It revealed a coma elongating toward the Sun. Jet-like structures inconsistent with water-driven sublimation. A nucleus brightness profile incompatible with size estimates below 300 meters. Astrometric precision that reduced orbital uncertainty by a factor of 5. This wasn't just good astronomy. It was strategic astronomy. And in that strategy, China captured the moment everyone else missed, the moment 3I, ATLAS revealed its true behavior. When Western observatories returned, the damage wasn't to the object. It was to our understanding of it. A 36-hour gap during perihelion evolution isn't a data hole. It's a wound. Without China's logs, the sudden coma asymmetry, sunward jet structure, brightness surge, and dust-to-gas shift would have gone unrecorded. And the most damning part? Updated Western models still didn't align with natural comet behavior. The silence from NASA, ESA, and NOIR Lab was deafening. Because China could prove what others could only suspect. When China uploaded the blackout period files to the China Vo Sky Survey portal, astronomers worldwide accessed them before any official interpretation. No narrative. No framing. Just raw data. Within hours, the Minor Planet Center recalculated the orbit. Orbital uncertainty collapsed from 25 arcseconds to 5. The hyperbolic trajectory was confirmed with unprecedented confidence. But the strangest detail lay in the coma geometry. It wasn't random. It was directional. Purposeful. Reactive. The so-called echo signal wasn't metaphorical. 3I, ATLAS responded to sunlight like something that knew the sunlight was coming. Once Chinese and Western datasets were merged, an impossible coherence emerged. Spectral data, brightness curves, coma morphology, dust modeling, nucleus constraints, and orbital dynamics all aligned into a single continuous narrative. And that narrative showed an object that shouldn't exist, a carbon dioxide-dominated body with an impossible brightness curve. A nucleus too small to produce its observed coma naturally. A dust-to-gas ratio outside solar system norms. A trajectory corrected with unsettling precision. An activation response faster than physics predicts. This was not a random rock from another star. This was a phenomenon. China's observations didn't claim alien technology. They didn't speculate. They didn't editorialize. They simply showed the truth the West couldn't see. 3I, ATLAS behaved differently when only one nation was watching. It brightened when no one else could measure it. It altered its structure when only one hemisphere had eyes on it. It responded to solar energy with organization, not chaos. The fear was never that it was dangerous. The fear was that it was deliberate. Not passive. Not random. Not unaware. In the end, it wasn't the telescopes that shocked the world. It was the silence. Silence in the West. And data from the East that shattered it. Because China didn't just observe something strange. They observed something the rest of us weren't supposed to see. Something that slipped into the blackout like a whisper, changed its behavior while half the planet was blind, and emerged altered, coherent, structured, intentional. For months, astronomers insisted 3I, ATLAS was just a comet. But comets don't react selectively. They don't brighten on demand. They don't restructure their comas only when observation disappears. This wasn't an interstellar object. It was an interstellar event. And now, as it continues its silent passage through our solar system, one truth stands above all others. We didn't just detect something from another star. We detected intent. And the universe just proved it knows when we aren't looking.